But now is not a time for us to become celebratory, lest it leads to complacency. The violence challenge that we have, the crime problem that we have is multifaceted, and we have only dealt with one dimension of it. Granted, it is the main dimension of the problem, which is the organized nature of violence that we have in the country, the organized institutional violence, and that's what we're dealing with. But there is still what I term the social violence, the use of violence as a means of social interaction, the use of violence to resolve conflicts, the use of violence to discipline children, the use of violence in intimate partner relationships, and the use of violence to solve neighborly conflicts. We just saw a disturbing video of two neighbors in a conflict. One ended up being shot and killed. And as we reduce the murder rate and we reduce the organized violence, the social violence becomes now the center of focus and activity. But we long knew this. And so within our plan, Secure Jamaica, we had a strategy of how we're going to deal with this issue of social violence. And that is why we empaneled and had a long study headed by Professor Maureen Sams-Vaughan, and she has produced the report. The report is in the possession of the government now. We will bring it to Cabinet shortly, and once Cabinet has reviewed it, then it will be tabled in Parliament. This report, we hope, will trigger a national conversation about who we are as a people and why violence has become such a featured part of our national profile, and how are we going to change that. Certain actions, the government has already contemplated certain actions that we will have to take, particularly dealing with how violence is dealt with in the schools, how violence is dealt with at home, and how violence is dealt with our women and girls. We saw this really disturbing road rage incident, if you can call it that, where a nurse was terribly abused, and the brutal killing of a 9-year-old girl a few weeks ago. So these are all issues that the nation now has to focus on if we're going to truly keep this murder rate down and get to what we have always said, the regional average and below. The regional average is 16 per 100,000. There was once a time in Jamaica when our murder rate was 3%, yes, in the 1960s. And we can get back there, right? This is not us. We have come to accept it in our music, we talk or we interact with each other, but this is not us. And we are now right on the cusp of correcting these age-old problems.